How are you enjoying that bourbon, Christian?
It's delicious.
Still delicious?
Delicious. Always delicious.
Hi everybody and welcome to AC Jones Kitchen. So you guys voted, you had the choice between buttermilk pancakes and bourbon apple crisp, and bourbon apple crisp won. Today I have a guest with me. This is my good friend Christian.
Hi everyone.
And Christian and I, we've known each other all of our grade school days, middle school days, high school days, and even college.
Yeah.
So we've known each other quite a long time, and he is quite a fan of bourbon. So we decided who better to have on this episode than Christian here. So you want to get to working on this?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome, let's do it. So the first thing we need to do is peel and thinly slice 2 pounds of apples. Now I use a variety of apples because it gives a little bit of a different flavor palette. You got the tart, you've got the sweet, and then you have some apples that sort of dissolve a little bit more, whereas others kind of keep their shape. So it's good for the apple crisp and different textures, different flavors to be like that. So I generally use 2 Gala, 2 Granny Smith, 2 Fuji, and 2 Yellow Delicious. Almost forgot that last one. So they're already peeled. We're gonna start chopping them up here. You can take yourself a knife there, be careful, and get to going. All right, so we have our apples all nice and sliced here. So let's weigh them out and make sure we've got 2 pounds. All right. Careful not to lose any of these. How's it looking so far?
Got about a pound on them.
Okay, let's hope.
It'll be close.
It will be close. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a little bit over 2 pounds, but that's fine. All right, so now that we have our 2 pounds of sliced and peeled apples, we can start adding some of the other ingredients and then get it cooking on the stove here. So I'll take these away. And Christian, would you mind adding a ½ cup of sugar and a ½ cup of brown sugar to the pot there for me? Thanks. And while you're doing that, we don't add the bourbon until a little bit later, but that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy some now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Cheers. Woo. Nothing like a good old smoky thing of bourbon, right? Perfect. Okay, so we have our ½ cup of brown sugar and our ½ cup of granulated sugar. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. So you just pop that butter right in. It'll melt when we get this on the stove. And then a pinch of salt. So I don't really measure this, I just kind of take a nice little pinch in my hands and put it around in there. And then the final thing that we need is a 1/4 cup of water. There we go, and we can get this cooking on the stove now. Okay, you can cut. So this has been boiling for about 15 minutes on medium heat, and it has cooked down significantly. So what I'm going to do now is add the bourbon. So I'm going to kill the heat. And Christian, if you would pass the bourbon this way. Thank you very much. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of bourbon to the pot here. Alright, so now that I've added the bourbon, I'm going to turn the heat back on to about medium and let it continue to be on a low boil to cook down and turn into a thick syrup there with all those apples. So we'll come back in just a minute. So as the apples are cooking down, we're going to make the crumb topping that goes on top of this apple crisp. I have preheated the oven to 350 degrees, and let's get to making this topping here. first is a half a stick of butter cut up into little cubes. So that goes in. So after the butter is added, we're going to add 1/4 cup and 2 tablespoons of flour, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Then we're going to add 1 cup of packed brown sugar and a pinch of salt. We're going to crumble this all together until the consistency is about that of kind of like wet sand, I'd say. Once all the butter's pretty decently chopped up, I like to switch to my hands because I feel that it just gives it a smoother texture, and you can really get that butter crumbled up in the brown sugar and flour. So once you've achieved the wet sand consistency, so I'll show you here, you can just kind of squeeze that and it stays in clumps. That is perfect, and this will be ready to go on top of our apples. All right, so as you can see here, when I pull the apples away, there's really not much left of that liquid. This is perfect right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill the heat, and I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm gonna stir that around and make sure that's really well incorporated there into the apples. Perfect. All right, so once those apples are done and the cinnamon is all mixed in, let's prepare our dish to go into the oven. So I like to use butter, and I just like to coat the bottom of the pan with butter and sides here. I like it better than cooking spray because I think butter just adds a really good flavor to it. There we go, just nice and light. All right, Christian, you can throw those apples in. Got the muscle here. That pot is heavy.
Oh, it smells so good.
I know. The addition of that cinnamon just really makes it. Just gonna spread this around here in the pan. There we go. And if you want to help with me, Christian, here, I just like to grab nice handfuls of this and I squeeze it first and then just kind of let it crumble, because you want some of those nice big crumbles to go on top of the apples there. It'll make it nice and crunchy. Perfect. There we go. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes. Oh yeah, and that crumb topping is really nice and brown there. So I'm just gonna pull this out. All right, so our apple crisp is cool now. Ready to dig in?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's go this. You scoop the ice cream, I'll get the apple crisp here. Oh my goodness, look at that. So you ready to dig in?
Oh, yes.
All right, cheers, let's do this.
So good.
That bourbon, and the vanilla ice cream.
Yes. Really
Definitely.
brings out the flavor.
Absolutely. And I love the crispy topping with the soft apples and the cold ice cream. It's just so good.
It's just a great dish all around.
So make this and tell me what you think. Let me know how it tastes, what you like about it. I don't really have anything else to say.
Neither do I. Just
So-
want to enjoy it.
All right, let's just keep eating. We can probably eat it straight out of the pan later tonight. So see you next time on AC Jones Kitchen, everybody.